I sleep way too much right now, but it's 4:30 in the morning and I've been up for about an hour and I can't sleep. But anyway, there's something that's been on my mind, which is I went out drinking the other day and it kind of bothers me the fact that someone might have been like following me or watching me. I feel like even in the club, there was a sort of camera in the corner and I was just like paranoid that someone was watching me. If there was that, I don't really mind, I guess, but it does bother me because I kind of like feel like when I'm drunk, I become a different person. I turn into a different person. Is that person Cardi B? I don't know. I know that when people, it's common for people to get drunk and then turn into like a different person or a different character. And because I have very little self-reflection when I'm drunk, or I care less about the people around me, or I'm more honest. Although I don't necessarily know if it's actual honesty or if it's real. I don't know. But yeah. It's kind of bothering because I don't know how I am when I'm drunk, and I probably don't want to know. But yeah, I remember there was this drink that was kind of untouched, and I told my friend that I wanted it and that I was going to have it if no one touches it in 10 minutes. And he took it away straight like 2 minutes later, and I know he did that because he didn't want me to drink it. But yeah, I think when I'm drunk, I love the idea of drinking. When I'm drunk, I want to drink more and more and more. The thing is, I don't like spending money, and therefore, if I'm drunk, I know that I shouldn't drink more. If I know that the club is about to finish in like within the hour, then I don't buy any more because I don't like the idea of spending £10 on a drink that you don't actually need because you're already drunk enough. But if there's like a free drink, not if it's half full, but if it looks untouched, basically, I might. I mean, I know you shouldn't do that I know you shouldn't do that in America because it could be drugged or whatever. But England, they don't. People don't really spike drinks here. I believe I haven't really heard that many cases of people spiking drinks here. But yeah, I it was a bit strange how I really wanted that orange juice, and yet he took it away, and I was really pissed off with him at the time. But in the morning, I mean, I wasn't that hungover. I was fine, and I recovered. And then I started being sick, and I was sick about 20 times. It was like three sets of sick, three sets of six, and then it just kept going on for every. I think it was first of all every half an hour, and then suddenly being every 10 minutes, and I was just like, what the hell? And it was weird because it was orange, and I was like, the night before, I was actually saying that I really wanted that orange drink, and I didn't get it, and then suddenly it felt like I did have it because it was coming out of me or something. I don't know. It was very bizarre, but it is making me think that it's making me think about things, which is that so something I need to say, which is that America have the 21 age drinking limit, and I don't actually think that's very safe. I mean, okay, there's different types of people in America. I think there's I don't know I don't know what because there's a lot of high drinkers in England as well. But the thing about going into a club is that drinks are expensive. It makes you not want to drink that much. If you order a drink, um, the second night that the mint one, I did see them just pour it in like quite a lot in. But with all the other ones, usually they pour it into a shot and then pour it into a glass so that you get exactly a shot amount worth. And that's not very much. One shot isn't actually very much. Whereas when you're in a house party, I've been to a few house parties at uni. Um, I get so much more drunk in there because when you go to a house party, you go with a bottle of vodka and you find that there's very little sort of Fantas around or very little mixers. And so you end up just pouring a huge amount of alcohol with a little bit of mixer in it. And you could drink like 4 or 5 shots within half an hour if you're in a house party. Whereas if you're in a nightclub, um, I find it actually a lot more safer because drinks are expensive, because it's you don't want to just dig into your pocket, or you might find that you run out of money, or I suppose if you take a credit card, then that's not going to happen. But yeah, I always find even if I'm really, really drunk, I wouldn't pay if I was really, really drunk and no, I didn't need it anymore. I wouldn't pay for a drink. Whereas if I was in a house party and there was like free drinks all around, I would just be over drinking, and I think it would be far more safe. So I would love to know why England has the 18 mark versus America that has the 21 mark. I mean, surely you would want to help bars and restaurant or bars and clubs and bars and nightclubs. What other? You sure you would want to help these places, be able to make more money and, having younger people in there, like say 18-year-olds, I would have thought that it's actually safer for them to be in a place like that. I mean, okay, I don't know America, and I definitely did not feel safe in Hollywood. So maybe that's the reason why they have the 21, because there's so many areas of America that are not safe. So maybe it's to keep people from, not necessarily from being in the bars, but from traveling to the bars or getting to the bars. But yeah, I, how because I'm used to England, and England is a very safe place. I've always thought that 18 is. I know you get younger people that do take advantage, but most people do stop. They don't like the idea of just spending huge amounts of money and on drinks. I know some don't, and there's some really cheap. There's some in London particularly. I found one that was, it was about £3 for a drink. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like what you'd expect in uni, not. But yeah, I don't know if it's just something that I should say, that I feel like if when I'm drunk, I always want to drink more. Um, and but yeah, if I'm in a bar and I have to spend £10 on a drink, I feel like that's enough motivation for me to not overdrink. And and they also give you smaller amounts of alcohol usually. Sometimes they just pour it in, but often they give you less alcohol. Um, but